All right, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into something that is probably going to change your life pretty drastically. We are exploring how the era of constantly looking down at our glowing screens is actually coming to an end. I mean, think about it. For decades, tech has demanded our absolutely undivided attention, right? It's making us bump into lampposts, completely ignore our dinner dates. We're just glued to this piece of glass in our hands. But the next massive revolution in human-computer interaction is going to remove that screen almost entirely. It's going to integrate seamlessly into our everyday movements.
Which brings us to a huge question. What happens when technology becomes something you wear instead of something you hold? It sounds like a deceptively simple question, doesn't it? But the answer is literally redefining human-computer interaction. We are rapidly abandoning those isolated devices in our pockets for digital companions that live directly on our bodies. And it's totally transforming how we experience the physical world around us.
Moving on to Section 1, Anatomy of Wearable Tech, from mainframes to microsensors.
So, let's look at the timeline here. If you go back to the 1960s, computing was defined by these massive mainframes that literally took up entire huge rooms, right? Then, by the 80s, they shrank down to desktop boxes. The 2000s came along, and boom, we shoved them right into our pockets. Now, here in the 2020s, we are introducing ambient wearables. Notice a trend? Every single era forces technology physically closer and closer to our bodies. But actually, here's a fascinating curiosity loop for you to think about. The smartwatch itself, it actually isn't the real innovation here. The real true breakthrough is the staggering miniaturization of the sensors inside those devices. We have companies like Qualcomm and NVIDIA taking incredibly complex hardware and packing it into literally microscopic spaces. I mean, we're talking about precision accelerometers, gyroscopes, highly accurate optical heart sensors, even continuous glucose monitors that don't even require you to prick your finger anymore. It is quite literally a medical-grade laboratory on a chip, and it's all wrapped elegantly around your wrist. It's wild.
And all of those tiny sensors rely on a really critical concept called edge computing. This simply means processing data locally, right there on the device, rather than beaming it all the way up to some distant cloud server. And why does this matter so much? Well, Edge AI allows your wearable to interpret all that biological data instantly. Like if you take a hard fall, or if your heart rhythm suddenly becomes irregular, your watch knows the exact millisecond it happens. It saves precious time, and it saves battery life, all without needing a cell tower connection.
Section 2. Revolutionizing modern healthcare. Beyond step counting.
Just take a look at the massive leap we've made here. In the past, we mostly just cared about hitting our 10,000 steps, maybe checking our pulse after a jog. But today, devices from companies like Apple, Garmin, and Whoop, they've evolved from these fun little fitness novelties into actual FDA-cleared, life-saving clinical tools. We've traded basic sleep tracking for things like continuous ECGs, blood oxygen monitoring, and even early disease detection. What we're looking at is proactive, highly personalized healthcare running quietly in the background 24/7. And the sheer scale of this shift, it's absolutely massive. 500 million. That is the number of global wearable device shipments projected annually. Just to put that into perspective for a second, that is roughly 1 in every 16 people on planet Earth buying a wearable this year alone. Consumers aren't just passively adopting this tech anymore, they are actively demanding around-the-clock access to their own biological data. They want to know what's going on inside. Section 3, the next computing platform, spatial computing and wearable AI. We are rapidly entering what we can call the post-smartphone ecosystem. We're seeing the rise of smart glasses like the Ray-Ban Meta. We've got mixed reality headsets like the Apple Vision Pro, smart rings like the Aura Ring, and super advanced hearables powered by audio AI. Now, the smartphone isn't going to just disappear overnight, right? But its role is going to drastically shrink. So instead of being the absolute center of your universe, your phone is probably just going to be a silent, kind of bulky processing hub sitting in your pocket while your glasses and your rings do all the heavy lifting. To really fully grasp this coming shift, we have to understand spatial computing. Basically, this is the act of interacting with digital information that's integrated seamlessly into your physical environment. Imagine this. You're walking down a busy street, and instead of staring down at a 2D map on your phone and bumping into a tourist, you actually see 3D navigation arrows painted perfectly onto the sidewalk, right through your smart glasses. Augmented reality is poised to completely replace that traditional glass screen we're so used to. Now, if you want undeniable proof of this shift, just look at the explosive growth in discrete, invisible wearables. The global smart ring market is projected to jump from $210 million in 2024 to an absolutely astonishing $3.5 billion by 2032. That is a nearly 1,700% increase. It tells us something very clear. We want all that rich data, we want all the connectivity, but we absolutely do not want to carry around another bulky device to get it.
All right, Section 4, Hurdles and Privacy Risks, the reality check.
Because, we have to confront the massive wearable trade-off here. On one side, yes, we have unprecedented health benefits, continuous monitoring that can literally predict a heart attack before it happens. But directly opposing that are severe privacy risks. We're talking about deep biometric data harvesting. Think about it. The more sensors we wear, the more intimately these massive tech corporations know our bodies. Protecting that deeply personal, biological data from hackers, that is, without a doubt, one of the greatest cybersecurity challenges of our time.
And beyond the data privacy stuff, there are some really highly practical roadblocks we're facing. Battery life is a huge bottleneck. You simply cannot pack a massive lithium-ion battery into a sleek pair of glasses without, burning your face. Then there's social acceptance. Let's be real, nobody wants to wear clunky, unnatural-looking cyborg tech to a nice dinner party. Add in the high consumer costs and some immense regulatory hurdles, and, well, the industry definitely has a lot to solve before smartphones become completely obsolete.
Section 5. The ambient future, when technology disappears. So where is all this heading? The ultimate path here leads to total invisibility. Step 1 is exactly where we are right now, wearable accessories like smartwatches and rings. Step 2 moves computing right into smart fabrics, where conductive threads actually weave the sensors directly into your everyday jacket or shirt. And finally, Step 3 brings us to neural and brain-computer interfaces. In this future, the computer integrates directly into our own biology. The next big device might quite literally be a part of your nervous system. Crazy, right?
It's all about working quietly, constantly, intelligently. You see, the future of AI wearables is absolutely not about replacing humans with machines or overwhelming us with a million more notifications. It's about allowing technology to fade perfectly into the background of our lives. We're talking about an ambient AI that curates your digital life and assists with your daily tasks without ever once demanding your forced attention. It just works.
To wrap this up, there's a saying, the most revolutionary technologies often become the least visible. And as we've seen today, every major era of computing has made technology more personal. We went from room-sized mainframes down to the pocket smartphone, and now we are putting it directly onto our skin. The future is arriving incredibly fast, and it's one where we finally stop looking down. But it does leave us with one massive question to consider. When our devices become completely invisible and they literally know our bodies better than we do, who is really in control of our reality? Thanks so much for exploring this explainer with me, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks for watching World Decoded. Make sure to like and share, subscribe, and stay curious.